The Convergence of Buddhism and Science, by Venerable Rung Ruang Papas Saro, Dr. Rung Ruang Lim Chupatipa. Nobel Prize scientist Christian de Duve explains that life is a specific form of components happening with very special conditions and environment. In Buddhism, life is composed of body and mind. The mind consists of several components which can be grouped in the aggregation of feeling, the aggregation of perception, the aggregation of volitional formations, and the aggregation of consciousness. The knowledge of Buddhism covers wide areas of modern science, including philosophy, psychology, neuroscience, and cognitive science. The body will do whatsoever in according to the instruction of the mind, saying the body is a slave of the mind. Therefore, in order to improve the quality of life, the Buddhist will focus on the studying on the mind for wisdom development, and once the mind is developed, then the life will be developed as well. The Buddha highlighted the importance of mind development as follows.
I do not perceive even one other thing that is so wieldy as a developed mind. A developed mind is truly wieldy. I do not perceive even one other thing that lead to such great benefit as a developed mind. A developed mind lead to great benefit. I do not perceive even one other thing that when developed and cultivated entails such great happiness as the mind. The mind when developed and cultivated entails great happiness.
A mind is considered as a mysterious subject because there is no physical representation, until in the 19th century when Camillo Golgi discovered a neuron cell. Then we began to understand that a physical entity of mind was a neuron network. At present in neuroscience, scientists discover that there are more than 150 billion neurons of varieties of shapes and functions with an average of 60,000 dendritic connections in each neuron. Thus these 150 billion neurons construct a nervous network of several thousands of trillion connected nodes, of which the number of connected nodes is as many as the number of all stars in a universe. The Buddha explained the activities of consciousness as follows.
Life is a stream of consciousness, and at each instance of having consciousness when fetching the object of consciousness, then the mind will acknowledge on the object of consciousness reflecting on what is happening around in the world, including the internal state of mind, and thus this capability is called the element of acknowledgement.
In Buddhist philosophy, the pathway of mind processing can be classified into 89 types as sort of the root of brain pathways, with the associate mental factors of 52 types as sort of the kinds of neurotransmitters that cause the varieties of mental phenomena occurring inside the mind, such as greed, hatred, delusion, anger, frustration, sensual desire, ill will, depression, anxiety, doubt, ignorance, attention deficit, hyperactivity, etc. These negative states of mind are caused by the arising of contamination, so-called defilement inside the mind during mind processing. All of these negative mental phenomena can be either wholesome or unwholesome, reflected by its state of mind. Typically, the wholesome state of mind will benefit to life, while the unwholesome state of mind contaminated by defilement will be harmful to life, reflecting mental illness. The aggregations of mind components in various states of mind can be presented within the central nervous system. From Buddhist perspective, the mind is composed of several aggregated components of states of mind that perform its functions, such as feeling located at the limbic system, especially at the thalamus and the amygdala of the inner brain, perception located at the gray areas of occipital lobe for vision, and of parietal loop for sensation and movement, with the memory functions of latent dispositions at the hippocampus. Volitional formations, or thinking, located at the prefrontal cortex. These aggregates components of mind are linked by the network of mind processing by sending signals back and forth among various neuron networks within the central nervous system. The network architecture of mind processing starts from receiving stimuli from the world at the six sense bases, where are the collection of sensory organs, and then the arriving signals will be passed to the associated anterior cingulate cortex of each organ in the gray areas, cortexes, lobes, of the outer brain for preprocessing and perception in order to understand what is happening in the world. That is, the olfactory pathways from the nose project through the olfactory bulb to the olfactory cortex, the auditory pathways from the ear project through the auditory cortex, the somatic pathways from the body project through the primary somatic sensory cortex, the visual pathways from eye project through the visual cortex. In the meantime, most sensory pathways project to the thalamus. The thalamus modifies and relays information to cortical centers. These incoming signals will go directly into the inner mind of limbic system, especially the hypothalamus, so that the mind can take immediate instinct response to the world to avoid any danger happening to life. The Buddha defined the two types of feeling, namely the bodily feeling and the mental feeling. The bodily feeling is sort of the instinct response of mind to avoid the danger in the world, while the mental feeling is an internal feeling caused by the volitional formations of mind due to the uninstructed cognition mind that assumes with identity view to be an existence of self-awareness, to absorb such the arising feeling, then create the alternative reality of the existence of being to be associated with such a feeling, and then cause craving struggling to serve such the delusional self. With desire and lust at the amygdala, this existence of self-awareness is so powerful that it will dominate the whole mind processing with emotional processing inside the central nervous system. In addition, although these mental phenomena will arise and fade away within a short period, but due to the 5 aggregates subject to clinging to self-awareness, the mind will keep on the production of renewal internal signal associated with the self-awareness by retrieving memory information from the hippocampus to be mixed in the volitional formations at the dorsolateral prefrontal cortex, and then this formulated signal will reflow within the mind processing at the feeling in the next round of the process of dependent origination. In human connectome studies, scientists are able to identify so many pathways of various neuron clusters in the central nervous system that function associated with the 5 aggregates of being in Buddhism. This interesting discovery confirms the truth that the mind is really a natural process, and the reflection of how an individual behavior responding to the world is just a matter of how the signal is passing along the various pathways of mind processing in retrieving the information of individuality and thinking. Really, there is no self as a being to dictate the life to be whatsoever by wishing at all. In Buddhism, the pathways of mind processing can be classified into 89 types as sort of the root of brain pathways, with the associated mental factors of 52 types as sort of the kinds of neurotransmitters that cause the varieties of mental phenomena occurring inside the mind. All mental phenomena are natural processes which can be either wholesome or unwholesome reflected by its state of mind. Typically, the wholesome state of mind will benefit to life, while the unwholesome state of mind which is contaminated by defilement will be harmful to life.